track that we purposely compose, arrange, mix into our shows. For this episode, the last episode, I choose a little bit of a special topic that I think is very interesting. I am doing a radio mix. That means that this is a short mix that is punchy, that has minimal element, that has fast transitions, and to master for radio, maybe we will not agree on that if you produce music, but you have to master minimally, because if you know, like me, the radio output, and you've ever been on a radio station or seen the hardware they use, they have a lot of compression and maximizer on the output, so if you overdo the track and they play it on radio, it will be squashed. So let's leave some room for them to play the track, so let's not make it, so just make it flat, make it nice, make it clean, but don't overdo it like a club mix to punch it so the club in the sound system would really have that good vibe. So it need to be flat and consistent. So this is episode 88, like I said, of the EDM sessions. And if you want to know a little bit more about the EDM session, we got another, of course, 88 episode that we did before, where I compose tracks in real time with you guys, and all of the project that I am doing during those sessions are available on our site wimingdancemusic.com, along 5,000 other DAW templates. It's what we do. I think it's a cool thing to do, to have full project of people that compose music they love and they share it with you guys. I think it's amazing. So let's get to it. So we are mastering, of course, with waves. The master's been prepared 32 bits, 96 kilohertz to have a maximum of headroom, cleanliness, high refresh rate. I'm going to use only waves plugins for this session, which is what I do for the last 17 years. It's mastering chain that want to have a little bit of analog warmth, that we will not use this so much. We want more of a clean signal that is not too altered, just to have some loudness but not overblown, not over maximized, just a clean track. The track that we're going to master is a track that is called Homage, that I made in the style of Avicii, to pay an homage to Avicii, which passed away a couple of years ago now, 2 years ago. And yeah, this is the piano style that became very popular because of him, and I think got it got right. I don't know if you guys can say, but this is a style that I like a lot because it's uplifting and there's a lot of happiness, and it's like house music, progressive house, but with a good vibe to it. So let's have a bit of a listen. This track, when I made it, was specifically designed to have a vocal laid on top of it. So as you can hear, I leave some space. There's always some space for a singer to come in to lay some vocals. So this was also the goal. As you can hear, fast transition, quick segments. Again, another transition with a filter. I'm gonna forward a little bit, going into the breakdown, very mellow. Again, room for vocal. Da 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 da. I'm not gonna try, but and going into the main part after the break, then the punch, and then going back to the main chorus. And that's it. It definitely missed some vocals, so I'm gonna master it as his. I would have liked to have vocals. I do not have anyone, to record vocals around here at the moment, so we're gonna keep on going with that. So I start the chain with the Rec 6 just to do, mainly to do gain staging. So I'm gonna use this auto gain here. I'm gonna crank it, and once it's clipped, I clip it, I push it again, and then it will reduce by the amount that is clipping. So until there's no more clipping, and then we have the maximum gain range that we can have. So here, this is written so small I can barely read it. We got 6.7 dB of gain because, of course, when I mixed the track, it was low. I mean, I always mix very low to have some headrooms and to not overblow everything. Okay, I'm gonna go straight into the second plugin, which is VQ4. It's another replica of an old analog EQ. I'm gonna boost the low end by 0.5 dB only. Again, I'm gonna do some gain staging here. If I'm able to get a little bit more gain, it's good. I don't think I will get much because I'm actually boosting, so I might have to drop a little bit. But the output of this Rec 6, the output of this VEQ4 are both at the maximum output, so I don't have some signal loss, and I keep this gain range from a plugin to another one. So I get a linear EQ here, which I will not use because I don't hear much need for anything. I'm gonna turn it on because it's one of my settings that I like to use. No, not necessary. It make it more airy and stuff, but not really what we're looking for. I'm gonna start with a really quick 2 dB of limiting. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna capture the peaks. So all those peaks that are just sticking out a little bit, I'm just gonna trim them at the top a little bit. Attenuation here, not much at the moment really. Oh, 0.8, 0.6. So like I said, I'm just trimming the peaks. So when I'm going into the other plugin, they won't have to overwork on those peaks. They're gonna work more on the overall program. So that's one of the strategy that I use. Alright, after this L2, going into the first LIN MB, the linear phase multiband. I don't know if I could call this a compressor, if I call this a maximizer, or just like a phase correction. That's a good question. I know it works, but I will have to study it to explain it to you further later on in some other episodes. Let's turn it on. It's an open setting. I got a lot of range here, so, and you can see it's working. Not too hard. Couple dB. Let's say 3 dB maybe of attenuation. So it's really quick on the top. The low end is a bit slower, but it's got like a slow attack, a fast release to keep the punch of the kick, which is important in dance music. So I'm gonna pick a segment here of the track right here. Maybe not. This is better. We have this synth coming in. There's a lot of elements. So we're almost at full already. Okay. Then we're going onto an API 2500 just for, I would say, the finesse, you know, just to refine a little bit the compression. Width. It's barely audible, but for me it does give that substance to the low end. It's almost like magic. This compressor is so good. Then we get an SSL G Channel, which I will use in this track because we're doing a radio mix, and I like somehow the stereo split signal. I like the low end, how it forms. So let's put it on. Oh yeah, not this much. Oh yeah, 1.7 dB of gain, a little bit. Again, gain staging here. The gain staging on the 2500 is automatic. Don't have to touch that. The output is good. We're not clipping. Maybe we have a bit. You can put it. So the signal is clean all the way through. I use that a little bit for the high, maybe to give a bit of air. With, without. So this particular channel strip has this ability to make a track shine without raising the overall dB or volume. It just gives that clean boost to the low, that clean boost to the high, and it just doesn't really change the values of the output. So nice work. Then we're going into a center. Because it is a radio mix, again, it's super processed. I'm going to use it a little, but very little. See the side, how much I can bring them, but I don't want this. I'm going to bring, it's about this. Width, without. Width, much wider spectrum. The stereo image is better. We can really clear the separation. Very good. Then I have a Kramer tape, which I will not use because it's not a good idea to use a tape when it's gonna go through a really fat maximizer signal. It's not all radio, but a lot of radio they do stereo to mono conversion, they do maximizing, they do compression. So the signal that come out into your car, as an example, if you're listening to FM radio, is super heavily compressed. So I don't want to give them more saturation. I think they put already enough. Okay, we have here the SSL G channel, the glue we call it. I'm gonna glue the track together a tiny bit, not much. Another 2 dB again. It's always in step. 2 dB of compression more. The difference? You make the track more together, more glued, so we're good here again. Then we get the second instance of LIN MB here, which is an Opto Mastering, which is perfect for what we're doing. So with this, I will go a bit more than in the first. So I want everything to be extremely tight, extremely contained, super nice phase. So when it plays on the radio, on any sound system, any output possible, it will sound good. Let's turn it on. Let's give it a bit more. So with, without. I can hear the difference in the phase. The track is just clean. How you like the track, guys? If you like the track, just put a comment below. Smash that like button, subscribe, all of it. It's alright for complete this session today. So I'm a little hype. I had quite a bit of coffee today. It's nice. Oh yeah. So to finish this track, I'm gonna use, of course, L316 in moderation this time, because you know, we all know that if you overdo things, again in radio even less. So I'm gonna look at my loudness meter and I'm gonna give it like a minus 14-ish. This is what I want, minus 14. There must be a standard that I don't know personally, but I don't want the track to be loud. I don't want the dynamics to be squashed. I want it to be clean and perfect to be played on the radio. So let's drop it a little bit, just get a little bit of gain reduction, and then bring it up. Look at the result. I'm gonna give it a bit less. So we're standing around minus 12 at the peaks. Yep. Average loudness, minus 11, minus 12. It's still loud, don't get me wrong, but it's not squashed. So okay, so we have all the elements. Now we can go into a little listening session. It's not a long track, it's under 3 minutes. So if you guys stay with me, I have a little bit of a surprise for the end of the show. So let's have a listen. And of course, let's look at our plugins to make sure we're not clipping where we could possibly clip. Very clean. Stereo image is very good. I like the piano, sit very well up there. Very nice. Really good definition between the elements, very clean. It's nice to, like I said, have some vocals on top, but not for this time. The average loudness is good. We're under the minimum here, which is I think some standard, I guess. not clipping anywhere. That's good. If you want to remix this track, by the way, it's available as a template on our site, wemake.com, and I don't use any plugin. This is strictly Logic plugins. If you have Logic Pro X, you can open this track, remix it. That's cool. Oh, I've seen some clipping here. There was a peak somewhere there or something. Very important for me, at least it would not create distortion or anything. It's just for the purity and the sake of doing things properly. So alright guys, so this is it for episode 89 of the EDM session. If you're still watching, you just earn yourself half price onto our site. Just use my name, Mikas, M-I-K-A-S. In the little box for the coupon code, you're gonna get half price your order. You can buy anything you want, get half price on anything. Get yourself 5 template, 10 template. We also have the best labels that upload their sounds, their samples. You get a lot of stuff on the site, and right now it's growing extremely fast, so every day we have some new releases. So guys, check it out, and of course, as usual, may the sounds be with you guys.